Red Rising is one of those books that tricks you. You think you're getting YA dystopia, but in space. And then Pierce Brown grabs you by the collar, whispers Roman Empire, and throws you into a pit where teenagers are encouraged to murder each other for character development. This video exists for three kinds of people. People who read Red Rising and want a clean refresher. People who bounced off early and heard it gets insane. And people who don't have time, but still want the emotional damage. This is Red Rising, Book 1, Class Warfare, Trauma, Space Fascists, and one extremely angry man with a sling blade. Let's begin. Red Rising takes place in a future where humanity has colonized the solar system and society has solved inequality by making it much worse. Humanity is divided into a color caste system, ranked from highest to lowest. At the top, golds, genetically engineered demigods, tall, beautiful, violent, and deeply convinced they deserve everything. At the bottom, reds, manual laborers, miners, shorter lives, shorter bodies, no sun, literally. Reds live underground, believing they are terraforming Mars so future generations can one day walk on the surface. That future? A lie. Mars has been livable for generations. Reds are slaves, and the lie is policy. Our protagonist is Darrow. He's a red, a miner, and a helldiver, meaning his job is to drill into the most dangerous parts of the planet and not die. Darrow is good at two things: working hard and believing the lie. He believes that suffering now means freedom later, which is extremely convenient for the people exploiting him. But Darrow has one weakness: love. Darrow is married to Io, and Io is a problem. She sings forbidden songs. She questions authority. She wants the sky. And one day, after Darrow wins the helium-3 mining quota for the Laurel, the prize is handed to another clan anyway. Because the system is rigged, openly. Not long after, Darrow and Io are arrested for trespassing in the garden, a place Reds are never meant to see. And during her public punishment, Io makes a choice. She sings, publicly, not to save herself, but to turn the moment into something they can't bury. And for that, she is executed, in front of Darrow, by people who never even learned her name. And before she dies, she tells him, "Live for more," which is romantic, and also the most emotionally devastating motivational quote imaginable. After Io's death, Darrow learns the truth. Mars is already terraformed. The sky is blue. The surface is thriving. Reds were never pioneers. They were always expendable. And Darrow is recruited by a rebel group called the Sons of Ares. They are not dreamers. They are survivors. People who've been fighting this war quietly for decades and don't have the luxury of optimism anymore. Their plan? Not revolution from below, but infiltration from above. They're going to turn a red into a gold. This is where Red Rising stops pretending to be chill. Darrow undergoes a procedure called the carving. His bones are broken, his organs reshaped, his DNA rewritten. This process takes months. He almost dies, repeatedly. And when it's done, Darrow is no longer a red. He is a gold, physically perfect, emotionally wrecked, and very, very angry. Darrow is trained privately, painfully, methodically, taught how to walk, speak, and exist as a gold by people who understand exactly what failure would mean. And then he is sent to the Institute. And here's the important thing. Gold society claims to value merit, strength, intelligence, leadership. This is a lie. Golds are born on third base and spend their entire lives congratulating each other for hitting home runs. Darrow learns quickly, golds are cruel. Golds are bored, and golds treat violence like a personality trait. The Institute is the centerpiece of Book 1. It is a massive, controlled war game where gold teenagers are dumped into a wilderness and told to conquer each other. Rules are vague. Death is allowed. Authority figures are mostly vibing. Each student is given a sigil and told to build a house, break others, and win. And yes, people are watching. The Institute isn't secret. It's recorded, archived. Every betrayal, every clever move, every death. Darrow knows exactly who he is performing for. The arch-governor, the man who ordered his wife's execution. If he wants revenge, he has to be impressive enough to be claimed. He enters knowing one thing: if he fails, Reds stay slaves forever. No pressure. At the Institute, Darrow learns leadership the hard way. Strength alone isn't enough. Cruelty alone isn't enough. Power comes from loyalty, symbolism, fear used sparingly, and knowing when not to swing the sword yourself. Darrow builds a following, not as a tyrant, but as a myth. He breaks enemies, wins allies, and starts playing the golds against themselves, but standing in his way is the jackal, a sociopath, a strategist, someone who doesn't just want to win, he wants to be remembered. People like that don't disappear after graduation. They get promoted. Then there's Mustang, smart, compassionate, gold. And this is where Red Rising gets interesting, because Darrow starts to care about someone who represents the very system he wants to destroy. And the question becomes, can you tear down an evil world without destroying the people inside it? Pierce Brown does not answer this gently. Book 1 ends with Darrow victorious, but not clean. He wins the Institute, but loses innocence, trust, and any illusion that this war will be simple. And winning doesn't make him free. It makes him visible. The kind of visible that follows you, the kind that turns success into a liability. He doesn't walk away from the Institute. He steps onto a much bigger stage. Red Rising, Volume 1 is not about rebellion. It's about learning how power actually works, and realizing that overthrowing a system means understanding it better than the people who built it. This was the beginning. Book 2, the game's end. The rulers step in, and winning once just means you're invited to a much deadlier table. But that is for the next chapter.